Education in the 21st century is undergoing significant disruptions, driven by technology and the changing needs of society. Disruptive education transforms traditional education, offering opportunities for personalized and adaptable learning. Overcoming the challenges of infrastructure and the roles of educators are crucial for successful implementation. Embracing these changes ensures education remains relevant in the evolving 21st century landscape. Dr. Eesa Bastaki is the president of the University of Dubai. He will explore disruptive education, which challenges traditional models and leverages technology to provide personalized and accessible learning experiences.
In the name of God, I start. My presentation is a little bit different. I don't go into details of education, but the tools and the objectives and what we do also in the University of Dubai. I like the word competition, always I use it everywhere, cooperation and competition. You want to be successful, cooperate and compete together. So you can both raise the bars of each other to grow. And then of course, disruptive innovation is actually you disrupt the market. That's the real innovation, which is said, a new market and value network, and eventually disrupt an existing market which is there. Like what happened to Kodak, what happened to the old Nokia and so on. So all these things, you have to be disruptive in order to change the market sense. I have 4 slides that are my signature. I use it everywhere in the world. If I do another lecture, the 4 slides will be there always. It's very important. Why? Because it's the human capital and leadership. Why am I talking about human capital? If you look at the global community, when we do education, we do to whom? Who is the one who is getting the education? It's the human capital, the human being, right? So the education is for the human beings. Health, why do you need the health sector? Is actually to also serve the human being. When you manufacture anything, your goal is to serve the human being. Any service in the world that's happening, the governments, anything, all of them they have one target, the human being. That's why if you want to start anything, the first thing to take into consideration is the human capital. Our leaders said that our country gives priority to building human beings and caring for citizens everywhere in the country, and the citizen is the real wealth on this land. So this is where we in UAE began to accelerate because of these kinds of actions of our leaders. The late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan, the first president of the United Arab Emirates, he said it, and he worked until the end, the last day of his life, he was working for the human beings. The Federation of the United Arab Emirates has relied and will continue to rely on the rich and diverse contributions of its true wealth, its people, to guarantee its prosperity. Again, the second president of the United Arab Emirates, the late Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, he said it. He also cared about the people. Also, for you to build like human capital traits, you need to understand what is the vision. So if we actually invest correctly now, then after 50 years, we'll be celebrating when we export the last barrel of oil. What does that mean? What's the vision of this leader? Saying that once we are doing that, we are ready to actually confront with that last barrel of oil because of diversified our economy. So this is the vision of the president of UAE. Again, he said, no place for those who lack science and knowledge. So it has to be through the education. Again, the ruler said, our leader, there's no substitute of first place. So in UAE, we don't agree anything but first. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the Vice President and Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, said, once he was in a press conference, somebody asked him, why do you want to have number one? Why? Is it important? He said, I'll ask one question. Who was the first one who landed on the moon? They all said Neil Armstrong. Okay, who was the second? Nobody could answer. He said, I rest my case. You don't remember the second and third and fourth, you remember the first only. Again, impossible is not in our dictionary. In the Emirates, we don't believe in impossible. That's why we have done things in the last 50 years, which others have done in 200, 300 years. The reason, we don't believe in possibility. Once Sheikh Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum, he was talking to young leaders, he said, I want you young leaders to be lions and lead lions, not sheep. In a sense, if you want to be strong, others should be strong also. So if a leader is strong, the whole society should be strong in order to support the strength. And this is said by Design Sheikh Mohammed Rashid. Now, let me talk about the strategic plan of Dubai. It's called D33, so Dubai 2033, 10 years from now. So what is the economic agenda of Dubai 33? If you look at it, we walk the talk. Whatever is written will happen in 2023. I think it happened in 2030 even, before that. So it's doubling the size of Dubai's foreign trade and adding 400 cities to Dubai's trade map. So we have many cities we want to add in the coming 10 years. And then launching Dubai's plan for green and sustainable manufacturing. So any activities being done, we have to take into consideration the sustainability of these kind of projects and being green. Launching Dubai's future economic corridors, opening now the door to Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. So we are trying to go towards the whole world. Launching a scale-up program for 30 companies to become global unicorns. This looks like impossible, but as I told you, we don't believe in impossibility. 30 unicorns to be in 2033, it will happen. And then integrating 65,000 young Emiratis in the job market. So those who don't have jobs will be guaranteed to get jobs. Launching Dubai Traders Project to empower the new generation of traders in key. All of these are for sustainability, economic sustainability. Launching Dubai's unified license, a unique commercial identity for all companies all over Dubai. Launching Sandbox. This is where Dubai will be a hub of all kinds of experiments and innovations in the region. And launching a program to attract the world's best universities, making Dubai a global pioneering hub for higher education. So we are going to attract all global universities, the big ones, big 200s, to be in Dubai. And last but not the least, developing a small and medium enterprises scale-up program. So we are trying to make sure that we have to identify 400 high potential companies. In that sense, these SMEs will be the foundation of the new economy of Dubai. This is only Dubai. Abu Dhabi has, again, another plan. So as a UAE, it's a big plan for it. And as I said, we walk the talk. We don't just say it. And of course, these are quick. What are the objectives? To increase foreign trade. The last 10 years were 14.2 trillion. We want to make it 25.6 trillion. Such a small country, to have that, it's a big jump. To increase foreign direct investment from an average of 32 billion the last decade into 60 billion annually. And foreign trade, Dubai City, I think, is #1. It's 60% of the Middle East foreign direct investment goes to Dubai. And to increase government expenditure from 512 billion the last decade to 700 billion. And increase private sector investments from 790 last decade to 1 trillion in the next decade. Then we have to increase the value of domestic demands for goods and services from 2.2 trillion into 3 trillion, and to generate an annual contribution of 100 billion from digital transformation. So if this transformation is not being done correctly, we have to spend on it. Already we are ahead of most of the countries of the world of actually digital transformation projects. We have a Minister of Artificial Intelligence, we have Metaverse Initiative, and we are going on. Well, there is a vision also that to achieve a long-term, sustainable, prosperous, and productive lifestyle after oil for years and next generations. Now, this is a very general saying. We are planning from now, after 50 years, we don't have any oil. But there are requirements, and the requirements are quality education. Quality and only quality. That's the first pillar of achieving that. Second, research and underlining the business development. So it's not only basic research. Basic research should be 50%, 30% should be applied research, and 20% should be business development, in a sense that you create products that can be sold. And incubation, innovation, entrepreneurship. And of course, you need to have a robust and secure all this infrastructure. These are the elements that will make the UAE, the goal is to made in UAE, sold globally. Every country can use made locally, sold globally. That's how it is. Now let's look at the history of a little bit of until we reach 5G. Of course, wired telephone started in 1876 by Graham Bell. And then wireless communication, Marconi, even J.C. Bose from India, he was the first also with Marconi to do it. And discrete communication, Nyquist bound, is famous one. And then digital transformation, yesterday we were talking about Shannon's theorem. And Shannon's theorem started in 1948. At the same time, the digital transistor was born. So 1948 was the breakthrough of the new era of communications. And then we have satellite communications, 57, optical communication, laser, internet, birth of internet, 1969. This is another breakthrough, another milestone. And internet age, which is 1990s, world internet networking, and then information age, 20s, 100s, data manipulation. Knowledge age, smart cities, the fourth industrial revolution started from the 10s. Now we're in the 20s. What are they? Cognitive digital age, robotics, cognitive intelligence, and virtual universe. So you're going to have the Web 3.0, which is going to be a universe that you can own a property in the virtual universe. Let's look at the elements of the fourth industrial revolution. What are they? It started with STEM, you all know, then became STEAM, added the A, which is arts, and then R, which is the research. These are the STEM revolution. So we start beginning, these are the four, IR 4.0, 1, 2, 3. The fourth one is actually smart automation. And what are they? Blockchain is a big element of it. IP version 6, because of IoTs, there are going to be more than 50 billion IoTs in the world. You can't do it with IP version 4, no way. It has, everybody should, till now, I think 30% of the world is IP version 6. I can't remember the number exactly. Of course, there are things. And big data. Big data soon will go into small data because there will be layers of filtering to go into small data to your desktop. And then augmented reality, virtual reality, and GPT and metaverse. These are the elements. Then you go to robotics, biotechnology, nanotechnology like NEMS and MEMS and so on, nano-electromechanical systems. Then you go to cloud computing, and of course something very important, it is 3D printing. These are the elements, but they all lie over, they stay over something strong. Well, I shouldn't call it 5G, I should call it NG, because 6G is coming soon. But this is the NG is the one that's actually catching everything and holding it together tightly. And without cybersecurity, no way we can go into 6G, because we have to protect ourselves. In the future, a doctor has wireless access to your body, because you have something IoT in your body, and if somebody attacks your body through hacking, then you're in trouble. So now the 5G and the 6G, they're really working hard on making sure the cybersecurity is there. And of course, all of you know artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is now the key toward all the new things that's happening in the world. And don't forget the green economy. Whatever we do, we have to look at it as a green economy. These are now the elements of the fourth industrial revolution. So future of internet, the metaverse. It started with internet of data in the 1990s, 2000, internet of people talking to each other, the internet of things in 2010s, and 2020s will start the internet of place, which is internet of ownership. So now you own the piece of land in that metaverse. You buy it, you sell it through the cryptocurrencies. Let's go now into education. This is the start of my talk now. So education actually has foundations and objectives, and we talk about each one. If you look at education institution, the first one is academic education. That's a must. You know the three pillars of education: education, research, and community service. Then the community service. Then the research and business development. Number 3, scientific. Number 4, partnership with government and industry, which is triple helix. And the 5th is collaboration with international entities. That's a must now. It's not a choice anymore. And then innovation 6, and last but not least, lifelong learning, continuous education. So these are all the objectives of education in order to output what? Of course, you have to meet that market need, society, industry's needs, all these needs, but what do you expect out of it? Academic degree, you give it to the graduate. Professional certificate. Now the universities are working with the professional societies to give professional certificates for the students. When they graduate, they get it. Instead of going to a workplace, and after 2-3 years, they take that same certificate to be promoted and so on. Now the university role is to actually give them before they graduate, like ILM, leadership management, and so on. Of course, startup. Now, there's no university that's not doing startups. What you need to do is to graduate startups. Of course, you never graduate all of them, but part of it, maybe 10% or less than 5% of those should be startups. This is where the economy will be. So there will be employers and some employees. And then, of course, lifelong learning, LLL. Last and not least, soft skills. Soft skills are important because the interview that's been done by any employer, the first thing they look at before even looking at the technical capabilities, they look at soft skills. So you have to build within that 4 or 5 years of the university life. These are expected by all universities, all education sectors, higher education sectors. Now let's look at the triple helix collaboration, objectives 1 and 4. I'll be talking about University of Dubai, but that should be everywhere. Industry and government, and then local, regional, international entities, objective 5. So university, national, and international collaborations. We are collaborating with Al-Ghurair Foundation, which they are looking at consortium for quality online learning. There are 9 universities in UAE that are part of this initiative to start online learning with the approval of the Ministry of Education. So now the 2 goals are there. First of all, the Ministry of Education did not allow online learning except if you go into detail of accreditation, like any program. So online is a new program. But once we finish this, we will be part of that online learning. So, well, 7 MBA courses are ready to be implemented. CAA is a commission for academic accreditation. They actually accredit from the Ministry of Education, the university in the country. And then design of 1 course in general education, design 2 Master of Science of Data Science courses is completed. So all these are part of that Al-Ghurair Foundation. So here we are moving towards in a very systematic way instead of opening it randomly. Once you do it systematically, you are always being watched by the ministry to make sure that you're doing it right. If you open it, you may get lost. And then we have also a grant that can help us. We are working also with the new one, MIT. We're working with MIT to do these, but mainly sustainability. So we're going to create a course in sustainability with that program, development of new MBA, concentration on sustainability, and then MIT portfolios. These are the courses: sustainable energy, cultivating entrepreneurship, and anti-fragility to thrive in a fast-paced world, and good economics for hard times. So these are the things that we're going to do in the university. And of course, MIT, the job is now to train our faculty in delivering these kind of courses. It starts in fall, next semester. Then we have the micro-credential buzzword, which is going around the world. The UAE started already, the country, to make it done by the ministry, in approval of ministry. So we are working with the University of Cambridge to do future foresight. In University of Dubai, we have a center called Center for Future Studies. And we have a scenario lab that takes care of the statistics of the future, and building on it, the solutions. So we're going to also work with micro-credentials in the future foresight, and so on. Dual degree program from University of London. This is international collaboration. The College of Law has LLB, bachelor's degree, which is collaborated with University of London, and has a dual degree. So University of Dubai's degree and the University of London. This will strengthen the program and show that we are international and we are as part of high-ranked university of the world. This helps the university to become quality. It's a dual degree. So it's also qualification in 2 jurisdictions, UAE and UK. Plus, it's a comprehensive 2.5 years UAE law, and the rest will be UK law out of 4. And then benefits, we'll have 2 legal systems. One is the UK one, the other one is the UAE. And then we'll also have ensuring a world-class legal education, setting you apart from. Degrees will be in civil law and common law, the 2 different between UAE and UK. Now, we also have Confucius Institute of Dubai since 2011. And this main idea behind it is to disseminate the Chinese culture in the country, plus teach Chinese language. We have many courses, and there are 6 levels, HSK1 until HSK6. Once they graduate the 6th, they can speak fluently Chinese. We have many activities in the University of Dubai. Then also we have a collaboration with the University of Louisville. They have biomedical engineering, and biomedical engineering we don't have at the University of Dubai. So what we do is we are trying to start the 2-year program in the University of Dubai as engineering, and then they'll continue in Louisville to get the degree there, not here. But the plan is slowly to go into us getting the biomedical engineering. So we take the experience of the Louisville slowly and start, and then after 4 years, we'll have our own degree. And this is the plan for biomedical engineering. We have, for the 6 MOUs international universities, we are increasing day by day. Industrial collaborative labs. You've all heard of Mohammed Bastaki Space Center. We have a space center in Dubai. We have launched many satellites, Dubai Sat 1, Dubai Sat 2, Dubai Sat 3, which is Khalifa Sat. We have launched the probe to Mars. We launched also a probe to Moon. At the end, it didn't work. So we have a space program in the country, one of 9 countries of the world that have a space program. So it was established in 2018, the lab in the University of Dubai. Research and development in satellite remote sensing, sponsoring by Mohammed Bastaki Space Center and ICT Fund. Of course, these are all, I'll not go into details, these are the projects we have, feature extraction. Palm tree detection, they know exactly which one is a palm tree and the health of that palm tree. How healthy is a palm tree? Completely, we are doing all the analysis of the data we receive. Of course, digital watermarking and study of Saruq al-Hadid is a place where His Highness Muhammad, he was in a helicopter, he saw something black, and he called the Dubai municipality, what is it? They realized there is a civilization 3,000 years ago, and it's under here. They found some coppers. Before they thought it was iron, but it was copper. And now we are doing the details of the study of it from the satellite images. So we know exactly what's under it. And of course, calibration and validation into GIS and toolbox and so on. We look at seismic also analysis. We're looking at growth detection of urban areas and so on. This is the project. You want to know more about it. These are the projects. Now, Desk Lab. Desk established also 2018. Research and development in cybersecurity. So this is Dubai Electronic Cybersecurity. They have the whole lab in the University of Dubai and sponsored by them. And we started the research center. We already have a patent, US patent, which is the physical layer of wireless communication to be protected. And these are some of the things that we do in that lab. We have Huawei Academy also, AI Academy, established 2021, delivering online courses provided by Huawei. We are participating in student activities and so on with Huawei, sponsored, of course, by Huawei. We have complete big lab. They're all communication labs and so on. Of course, we have also the ICT Academy, which they give so many courses. One of them is HCIA, which is Huawei certified ICT associate, and so on. DEWA Lab was established in 2020. We are a small university, but our dreams are very high. So we have many labs, even though we are only 3 colleges in the university. So now let's go to what do I mean by disruptive education. And I had asked Professor Asha a question about disruptive, objective number 1. What is a smart institution, if you look at it? It's an institution that delivers digital ubiquitous education services to any student, from any instructor, to anywhere, at any time, and of course, by any means, efficiently using digital pedagogical tools based on a robust, super speed, reliable, and secured ICT infrastructure. So this is the definition of the smart education. And of course, this leads to personalized learning. A student can choose the course. At the end, there's a curriculum. It's there already. The students choose the curriculum, and from there, tries to learn. Even if it's lying on a beach, can learn. So it's 24 hours open. Learning in the 4th industrial revolution that's following. IoT devices will be used a lot as a IP version 6. And then augmented reality for learning, which is well known. You can actually see something from the heart of a person can come out and you can open it and so on. And then virtual reality, metaverse, mimicking physical attendance. So you will be actually somewhere else, even though you are in the metaverse. Of course, blockchain, payment transaction will be safe. Robotics, accuracy and preciseness in the labs. Big data, analytics and knowledge, we saw all those big data that we are doing. Artificial intelligence, learning, testing, and delivering quality. Nanotechnology and biotechnology, MEMS, precision, accuracy, and remote. MEMS in microelectromechanical systems, to being used for medicine especially. And 3D printing, prototyping made easy, and of course, cloud computing. So cloud computing, don't worry about big data. And of course, the new trend is generative pre-training transformation, ChatGPT. Now, technology is there for what? It's a tool. Technology is a tool for students to learn. It's not an objective, it's not a goal. This is not the goal of education sector. Education institution needs to use the tools to make the students love to learn in order to learn correctly. And this is what, as an innovation tool. To use techno-entertainment, gamification they call it, that gets the attention of learners. Learn anywhere, anytime, and by any means, and virtual reality is a face-to-face. So we don't worry about face-to-face anymore. The future will not tell us, is it online or offline, it's the same. Adaptive curricula with adaptive learning outcomes. These are trends. Market changed job requirements because they're changing very rapidly. Rise and fall of specific job descriptions, ChatGPT. This allows the curriculum or the curricula in general to be all adaptive. We'll not find a specific curriculum today. Today, something, tomorrow it may change, and so on. And then innovative faculty, no rote learning. Please, no rote learning. It has to be innovative. Thinking out of the box, delivering creative curricula. Research-oriented learning. Of course, this is something, it's broadening the scope of mind of this learner, and team and collaborative work habits. 2 brains are better than 1 always. And of course, innovative and creative thinking, inquisitive minds, and entrepreneurship. The last but not the least is, where everything goes into it, is creative environment of love to learn with students. So you need the students to love to learn in order to learn. That's the only way to do it. Using technology is one of the techniques. So what are future jobs? Some future jobs we're looking at, because I talked about it in IR 4.0. Body part maker. This is 3D printing. Create living parts for athletes and soldiers. Nanomedic, which is nanotechnology that uses subatomic treatments, could transform healthcare. This is genetically modified or recombinant farmer, and this is can engineer the crops and livestock. Elderly wellness consultant, we need folks who tend to the physical and mental needs, especially now that the elderly are becoming more than usual in terms of percentage. Memory augmentation surgeon, everybody like this. If your memory stops, there are techniques that can increase your capacity of your brain. This can be done. And of course, new science ethicists. Ethicists are there, but future will be more required, especially in terms of cloning. And then space pilots, tour guides, you can have tour guides, even space architects. Then vertical farmers, which is there, but will be spread around the world. Climate change reversal specialists. So this is something, it will not happen in I think, 20, 30 years. This may happen, to reverse the climate so that the climate change will be as per the requirements of sustainability. And then quarantine enforcer. So now if something goes wrong, like what happened, then there are techniques that can enforce somebody not to go in, somewhere not to go out, and so on. So these are 10 out of myriads of them. Innovation, objective 6. You know, in 2014, National Strategy for Innovation of UAE said they will work on 7 sectors, but not limited to 7 sectors. It's transportation, it's health, it's education, and it's water resources, renewable energy, space, and technology. So these are 7 sectors, but not limited to it for innovation. From that time, we started and we grew much bigger than what was expected. Now, 50 Charter of His High Sheikh Mohammed Rashid had 9 articles. One of the articles said that, so they did create economic zones, free zones in universities, all public and private. So they do business to graduate startups. That's why we can graduate startups now, because now we have economic free zone for entrepreneurship and innovation in the University of Dubai. So we can create future job makers and not job seekers. So you want to, all our universities, not only to graduate students, but also to create startups and entrepreneurs. This initiative actually will move us to the next step of becoming self-sustainable economy. If you look at Global Innovation Index, in 2019, UAE was ranked 34. 21 was 33. And this year we reached 31. So we are growing, we were here, and slowly went here. It's still moving up. Of course, there are a lot of requirements of Global Innovation Index. Of course, there are some like UAE, we have here. All the criteria that are there, I'll show you more into it. So these are the criteria, and they are the sub-criteria also. Now, in the institutions, the political environment, regulatory environment, business environment, we are ranked 6th in the world, 83%. Human capital research and education, tertiary education, research and development, we are 17. Infrastructure, which is information and communication technology, general infrastructure, ecological sustainability, we ranked 7. Market sophistication, credit, investment, and others, ranked 23. And business sophistication, 26. Knowledge and technology outputs, this is something we have to work on. We are 59. We are still behind. This should go to 20s. And then creative outputs also, we have to work on it. Already we did, and in a few years we'll be successful. So these are the ones. Now let's go to a project in Dubai called Dubai 10X. We started in 16, 36 entities, government entities in Dubai, competing in 163 projects to become 10X ahead of the world. What kind of projects that will take the world 10 years, it take us 1 year. And we had the first, I'm the judge in that also. Phase number 1, and then phase number 2 the next 2 years later. Now phase number 3 is coming. What is it? Let's look at this video. So this project, actually, we have implemented some of them out of the 26 that succeeded out of 163 projects. One of them is in 2025, we'll be having flying taxis in Dubai. It'll be the first in the world. So, and the plan is, it's nearly ready, they're working on it. 25 or 26, I'm not sure, I think 25. So this is the project. The other projects, the airport will have a tunnel coming out of the airport. When you come out of the airport from the airplane, you don't need to go anywhere. Just go into the tunnel, you are out to the taxi, whatever you have. In between, everything happens. A robot will bring you your luggage. You will have screens everywhere. They'll know what you need, what you want. You can get messages. Yes, you have a meeting in that place at that time. Do you need any help? Everything will be done in that corridor. So it's called, that corridor also is one of the plans. Since I'm the judge, I know all these projects completely, the one, I forgot them. Even the emergency, civil defense will be there in 30 seconds, no matter what happens. 30 seconds. Right now we have, I think, 3 or 4 minutes, but we wanted 30 seconds. So this is a big program. We are starting again the version number 3. I want to remember the word version, I forgot now. Version number 3 will start soon. And of course, UAE started the Drones for Good Award in 2016. I was the chair of that award. Then they started the Robotics and Artificial Intelligence for Good Award. I was the chair of that also, of that thing in the country. So we did a lot of things to be ready for today. So disruptive smart education, I didn't talk about it right yet. So what's the goal? As Professor Asha said, it's the competencies, right? Well, I call it course learning outcomes and program learning outcomes, the same thing. You have all the course learning outcomes, all the program learning outcomes. It doesn't matter how you do it, you will get your degree, right? And of course, it's very important, L to L, E to L, E to L, W to L, and I to L. What's those? It's love to learn, experiment to learn, explore to learn, work to learn, and innovate to learn. When you have all these, what is it we'll get? Then it's a flexi-time education system, location-dependent education, education on the move, a flexi-instructor system, any worldwide instructor, an open-time degree system. And of course, a robust, this should be there always, ICT infrastructure. Every word is important because sometimes you're talking about human beings, you're curing, treating somebody. So it has to be secure. It has to be uninterrupted. Zero latency. 6G actually, it has a zero, not zero, but 1 microseconds, which really is zero latency. And high speed and reliable ICT system. All these together, it's a must for the future of the technologies. So, no worries of receiving education in terms of time, place, instructor, and condition. So I propose that 12-year schooling could be reduced to a minimum of 9. Building starts later. So career building starts later. That's what it is. So if you finish in 9 school, you think that's still not mature enough. You can actually prepare the person, other than teaching, to be ready for the university, maybe a year, sometimes or less. And university degrees could be obtained in a year, less or more. So it all depends. If you want 1 year, you can. You want 6 months, you can. You want 4 years, you can. It depends on this. So this is the disruption I'm talking about. So no time limit will be done in the future. A commercial break. Being green, smart, disruptive, and net zero energy campus. So we have Dubai Business School, one college. We have College of Law. We have College of Engineering IT. We have Center for Executive Development. We have Center for Business Research and Consultancy. We have Entrepreneurship and Innovation Free Zone. Plus we have Center for Future Studies. I forgot to put it here. And Confucius Institute. What do we mean by net zero campus? Which is net zero energy building, they call it. So campus is a building. We started the project in 2016. We've started in 2018. And we finished it in 2019. It was ready. And 2020, we got LEED Net Zero Energy Campus, 20 January 2020. So we walked the talk again. We have a solar farm, 15,000 square meters. We produce 1.7 megawatt. We have parkings also, we have 0.3. The total we are having is 2 megawatt. And The percentage of university electricity offset by solar is 100%. We are not using anything of electricity and water authority. Expected internal rate of return is 23%. Now, why I'm trying to advocate this project is that it's not only having a zero carbon footprint, it will also have zero cost after 5 years. So within expected payback 5 years. In 5 years, it'll be free and no carbon footprint. Expected saving during the first year is 1.2 million dirhams. Total project costs nearly 6 million. It increased to 6. So after 5 years, we'll recover. System design life is 30 years. So 25 years of no cost. CO2 emissions abated 2,040 tons. And using robotic dry cleaning, we don't use water. We are so sensitive to sustainability, we are not using water. Always dry cleaning by robotics. So we're saving 34,000 liters of water per month. No batteries for storing energy. We don't have batteries. How can we use electricity at night if we don't have batteries? At the daytime, we have excess of electricity. If we feed it to the grid, at night they give us back. So even we are not using batteries. We are very sensitive to green economy. And of course, in 2024, and for 20 years later, this is why I told you, zero carbon and zero cost. This is the lead zero we got, 2020. Let's look at this project.
Furthering its commitment, and as part of Dubai's vision to produce 75% of its energy from clean sources by 2050, Dubai Chamber has now also made its education initiative. The University of Dubai, the first LEED certified net zero building in the region. Ground-mounted solar panels spreading over 2 kilometers have been installed on the campus. They connect to the existing grid and produce solar energy to fulfill 100% of the university's electrical needs annually. The panels surround the campus to maximize solar contact to a capacity of 1,700 kilowatt peak per day, helping the university reduce CO2 emissions by 2,040 tons and save 1.2 million dirham annually. In 5 years, costs invested will be recovered, and the university's energy bill will be zero for the next 30 years.
So my last slide is from MIT. He said that the future favors the bold. I say the future is what our imagination leads us to, and the future is what we create now. And of course, an imagination of the future is limitless. Thank you very much.